thanks for stopping by at Unified Supply. Today I'm here with Colin and I'm Tara, and we're going to talk about wheels. And so we want to tell you a little bit about the different kinds of wheels and what they're used for, and how you make them, and what holds them together. And so tell me a little bit about what you know about the wheels that we make, Colin.
Sure. So one of the first things that you'll notice, obviously, we've tried to use different colors. That's one of the key things that we did to differentiate when we were developing these wheels. And part of the reason is we get customers that call us and they say, hey, I just need more of the red wheels. A lot of these different maintenance stations, you get a new technician, they may not be an expert on the different types of equipment. So that's one really quick and easy. The colors that you see is the polyurethane material. And so what we can see that's typically in common across all of our wheels is that you've got the polyurethane. We've also put a part number and our contact information here on the wheel. Just makes it easier for the technician in the field to specify. Believe it or not, we use the same red wheel multiple different applications. So it's kind of a good way to tip us off as to what you need exactly. But the polyurethane is the basic material that's intended to wear down. So the more rotations that this wheel goes through, essentially the wheel is going to get smaller and smaller over time. It's usually a very small amount of wear, but that is by design. It is supposed to wear down that way. The next thing about the wheels that you'll notice is that they have these interrace the bearings. So the bearing is where the actual rotation is designed to occur. Obviously it's rolling on the surface of the polyurethane, but we use high quality bearings. Best case scenario, you have a bearing on both sides. So this wheel is wide enough that you've got enough space to fit the bearings. And that's a really good design. And sometimes if there's not enough width, we'll have one bearing and we'll have to use a snap ring. And the snap ring basically looks almost like a mohawk, the way it goes around the center of that bearing. That will be captured into the polyurethane material. We'll actually pour the polyurethane on both sides of it to hold it in place.
And so this is considered a high wear item for
Correct.
the carousel. And what about the bearing? Is that replaceable? And can you tell me a little bit about the bearing on the inside?
Yeah, so obviously the one we described, the snap ring, that one's captured into the polyurethane. There's no way to remove that. You destroy the wheel if you try and pull it out. We have gotten that question quite a bit. I know you've gotten that in customer service. Here's the issue. If you try to take this out, the way this is pressed in, it has to be an incredibly tight fit. That's done in the manufacturing process. It's pressed in a lot of times with these wheels as they're being cured and as everything is settling into place. It seals that in very, very tight. You should not be able to just pull these out. In fact, I would really have to yank to get this bearing out. If you try and pull that out, that seal will be broken. It will never be the same. And the problem is, in our industry, these wheels typically are on something that moves. So unlike a support roller that's locked in and only has one direction of travel, these go around corners. And so what we've seen is we've had customers who we've tried to persuade them not to, but everyone wants to try and save a little bit of money. They've tried to just replace these bearings, and what will typically happen is in a corner, you'll just have too much side pressure on this and it'll pop those new bearings right out. You'll end up losing the wheel right off, and that can cause a lot bigger damage. So we try and recommend to people, these are an item that they're not that expensive for any given wheel, but it is expensive to replace all the wheels on your carousel. However, it's intended to wear. It's really something that you need to do. And then the other thing that we've gotten as a request is, can we make the wheels harder? So that's one of the natural things. People see that they wear down, and the natural instinct is, just make them out of a harder material and then they'll wear less. However, these are riding on the track, and the track is part of the frame, part of the structure of a carousel. That part is not designed to wear. So what we found, because we've talked to some people who have tested that out, they make these so hard that the tracks get eaten. Well, as you can imagine, these are relatively inexpensive to replace. The track on your carousel, that is not intended to replace. That's not going to be inexpensive, nor is it going to be easy. So we really just recommend to people, these were, by the original manufacturers, just like we do. These wheels are made to be a point of wear. You just have to kind of accept that. So
Great. Well, thanks for stopping by and letting us tell you about wheels. Send us a picture of your wheel and send it to parts@unifiedsupply.com and let us help you out with your carousel. Have a great day. Bye.